Dear viewers, are you a person who is 45 years and above, or if you are a person who wanting to retire within the next 15 years, here are the 6 things you must focus on. This is NRI Money Clinic for you, and I am Dr. Chandrakant Bhatt, investment consultant and a financial planner.
NRI Money Clinic. No hype, just the right advice.
Retirement will be a bed of roses for only for those people who plan it very well in advance. Otherwise, the golden years of life will remain elusive for you. Here are the 6 things which you must focus on if you are 45 years and above as of now. Point number 1. Please evaluate your health and your health insurance. If you are covered by your employer, then you should see whether should you have an additional health insurance at this point of time or not. If you are a healthy person and if you are adequately covered by your employer, or if your employer has a scheme of things where post your retirement the same insurance continues, instead of your employer paying for the health insurance you pay for it, that's fine. But if the health insurance given by your employer is not adequate enough, or if you have some pre-existing issues like diabetes or blood pressure or anything else, this is a time you should actively consider either buying a full-fledged health insurance plan or at least a top-up plan. What is the advantages of buying a top-up plan when you have a health insurance given by your employer? Please note, if you have a top-up plan at this point of time when your employer has already given a health insurance plan, by the time you retire, you are assured of at least one health insurance which is working for you. If you are lucky enough, the top-up plan can be converted into a regular health insurance plan. If you cannot, then at least the smaller bills which falls within the first 2 lakhs or 5 lakhs, depending on what kind of a top-up plan you have opted for, only the excess bill that might come can be taken care of in health insurance company. Nevertheless, it makes sure that it will not create a big dent in your retirement corpus. Point number 2. By the time you retire, make sure that you have no liabilities. When I say no liabilities, it's just not liabilities towards your house. You should not also have unfinished liabilities towards your children or anything else. By the time you retire, make sure that you clear all the liabilities that you have on hand, and when you retire with a peace of mind. Many people have this issue. They are not able to sort out their finances by the time they retire. But they would have put money in a lot of places. It's all scattered all over the place. It's a good idea. Take stock of the situation. Maybe you have to liquidate a property or two, or maybe you have to liquidate 1 or 2 investments that you have done in different places and get rid of all the liabilities. When you retire, please retire with a peace of mind. Point number 3. Decide now where you want to retire. The place which you are going to go and stay during your retirement years. It is very essential. In the beginning of your career, you wouldn't have had clear indication about where the world is going to take you or where you are going to retire. If you are 45 and above, at least by this time, you have a clarity where you are going to retire. Will it be in India? Will it be outside of India? If it is within India, which city you are going to choose from? You develop a clarity around that particular place. Once you have a clarity where you are going to retire, that will help you to decide where you have to live in that city. What kind of a house you have to live in. Many people are confused. See, they buy a house in Delhi and they want to live in Nasik. Somebody buys a house in Chennai and they want to live in Bangalore. It makes sense for you to prepare for a proper house to retire once you cross 45 years of age. I'm not telling that tomorrow morning you go and look out for a house in the place where you want to go and retire. But please make up your mind. That gives you ample time to decide, should you stay in the house that you already own or should you sell that and buy something new. One of the advantages of buying a better house during the retirement years is the houses which come now, the newer ones will come in a contemporary style. It may have the requisite facilities. It could be in the areas which you are looking for. You may ask the question, can I go and buy the house right now? Can I commit money for that? What you can really do is, if you have a smaller house, or if you have multiple houses, or if you have some other site somewhere in some other part of the world or some other city, you can swap that and decide to buy a house where you want to live in. So this is a decision you have to make well before you retire. Point number 4. Plan very well the retirement corpus that you must have at the time of retirement. Do not take this issue of building your retirement corpus with kids' gloves. It's a serious issue. Remember, people will not die soon after retirement. Gone are the days where people used to die 5 years, 10 years after their retirement. Today, people will live up to 85 to 90 years of age, not by exception, but by design. If you have lived up to 45 years of age, nature has already selected you to live longer. Now you retire at 60 years and you don't have adequate amount of money. You live longer, but your money does not live as long as you live. That's a pathetic situation to be in. So to plan for retirement, you must know how much of money you should have and what kind of a risk you will face during your retirement years. When you are planning for building your retirement corpus, you have to properly prioritize. If you are at 45 years of age and heading towards the retirement around that time, you have grown up children, or your children going to high schools or college, or you are passing through a peak expense period. You have to prioritize your retirement corpus building over your children's education. I'm not meaning to say that you should not send your children to schools and colleges. That's not the meaning of that. The meaning here is, if your children have to learn, make sure that a parallel arrangement is made for them. Maybe you have to take a loan. Maybe your children have to study well and get good scholarship. Maybe children have to stagger their education over certain number of years. Now the new education policy and the current systems in the education, children need not complete everything in one go. They can stagger their studies. So make sure that you have enough funds kept for your retirement purpose. The rest of the money you can definitely use for your children's education. If you do not have adequate amount of money, do not hesitate to take loans for children's education, and tell your children the responsibility of clearing that loan belongs to them. Make a calculation how much of retirement corpus you must have at the time of retirement. I had done a video earlier on how much of money is adequate to retire. I'll give a link for this here in the card section, as well as give in the description box below. Please watch this video and make sure that you have adequate amount at the time of retirement. If you run short of the cash at that point of time, then it is not such a good thing to be in by the time you retire. Maybe you have to extend the number of years that you are going to work for, or you may have to do some works even during your retirement days. Many of the NRIs are high net worth individuals. They are used to not paying taxes because they maintain NRI FDs during their NRI status. But once they come back to India, suddenly they are exposed to a lot of taxation. So before you retire, sit with your chartered accountant or sit with your financial planner. Make sure what is the taxation that you have to suffer at the time of retirement. Or you just plan for your retirement and you don't take tax into consideration. A 33% taxation on your retirement income can become very heavy for you, and you may fall short of the required amount of money for you to live during your retirement years. When you build your funds for retirement, you must know the risk that you will go through during your retirement years. I spoke about the taxation. Taxation is not the only risk that you will be exposed to. You have other risks as well. The risk of inflation. Now let us say that you get a lakh of rupee every month as a retirement cash flow, and you live for next 30 years. So this cash flow of 1 lakh remains as it is. The prices will keep running year after year higher up, and the purchase power of this lakh of rupee keep diminishing year after year. You should be doing something to make sure that the retirement corpus or the retirement cash flow that you derive is not negated by the ill effects of inflation. This is the other risk. This is not the only two risks. There is another major risk which is unwinding at this point of time. That risk is the risk of falling interest rate. Now we have seen in India, we had between 1985 and 1995, the bank FD rate was around 14%. Subsequently, over the decades, slowly but steadily, the interest rates are falling down. The long-term trend of interest rate is down, and this is bound to have consequences on creating a retirement cash flow. It will affect your annuities when you buy it. It will affect your bank FD rates when you buy it. It will affect a lot of other things. So if you are not aware about what the falling interest rates can do for you, then you can be short of funds at the time of your retirement. There are ways and means where you can make sure that you have a steady cash flow which is not getting affected by the falling interest rate. So you should be aware about it. Please talk to your financial planners, sit down with them and design proper strategies to create a good retirement cash flow. Dear viewers, we have done retirement planning for hundreds and thousands of people across the globe. We specialize in building good retirement corpus as well as the good retirement cash flows for our clients. Are you the one who is looking to build a good retirement corpus and design a retirement cash flow strategies for you? You can make best use of our services as well. We have shown our number here on the screen. Through a WhatsApp message, you can reach to us and either myself or one of my financial planners in the team will help you build a robust retirement corpus and a cash flow to support you during your retirement years. Point number 5. Prepare the black box of your life now. You are 45 and older now. You are heading into a zone of uncertain life beyond this point. Yes, I said nature has selected you to live longer, but no one knows what can happen. Will somebody be a victim of critical illness or death or what kind of an uncertainty? It's a good idea that you streamline all the things that you have, write down and make sure that the next of the family member should know everything that you own, your policies, your bank accounts, your assets, your liabilities, whom you owe money and or who owes you money. All these things have to be documented well and it should become known to one of the close friends of yours or one of the family members who can help your family members in your absence. Point number 6, extremely important. A lot of people do mistakes around this. Men folk are very good with finances. The viewership on our channel, 85% are the men. Only a small fraction of them are women. Women do not generally take much interest in the finances. Why I am telling this point here is, when you plan for your retirement, make sure what your spouse, wife or husband can do or cannot do. Men folk put money in a lot of places. They put money in some stocks there, a few places the properties, the land. Then they invest in a lot of mutual funds. They have a demat account there. They have a demat account here. They have some overseas investment. All these things will happen. Ask yourself this question. If you were to be not there, can your wife handle all these things? If she cannot handle it, it becomes your bounden obligation to streamline things and make sure that she can handle it in your absence. Even if you put your money in bank FDs, that's fine. What I mean to say here is it should remain simple, understandable, she can control, and she has an assurance of a cash flow in your absence. Dear viewers, I am extremely confident that if you attend to these 6 points that I have raised in these videos, then you can have an excellent retired life. If it helped you to understand what you need to be doing today to have a good retired life, please like this video. If you are a person who is watching this channel for the first time, or if you are yet to subscribe for this channel, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. I shall be back with you with yet another topic on financial planning very, very soon.
Press the bell icon for more details and subscribe our channel.